Hey, 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 what's up? BitConnect. Welcome, weekly open. So we're going to take a look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, dollar, and SPX or ES. Okay. Um, Thanks to my sponsors, BingX, for making this possible. If you would like to check them out, you get up to $4,000 deposit. I know last week, 100 of you got $100 each to trade with. If you deposit, you'll get up to $4,000 deposit bonus as cash. Um, and the link is in the bio. If you want to check out the exchange, as I mentioned before, you can trade within TradingView, which is a great feature. Some of you have asked me about Fight Club. Now, there's only 14 places left. Fight Club is my website, Paper Street Soap. Okay, this is what it looks like when you log in. You have the infamous Fight Club Discord within here, and we trade live. Here are my live trades within this tab. You have market reviews almost every day when there's some action. I mean, as you can see, the last week we've had 7 or 8. Very busy. Education tab in here where all the price action concepts that you'll need to read the markets as I do are in here with some strategies that you can use, you can adapt, you can implement yourself to be able to approach the market with price action concepts that are profitable. Okay, now as I said, it's a small community and there's only 46 people in there. I think there's 46, 44. I can't remember the last count, but there's not many places left, and it'll probably be full by the end of the week. If you want to, join, go to the website. Otherwise, hit me on Twitter with any questions that you have, and look forward to welcoming you. Otherwise, enjoy my YouTube. It's free. Plus, there's a free channel, free content channel on the website anyway, where I'll post all my videos. But I'm going to drop down to 2 a week on YouTube now and focus on the community and the next moves with this market that is looking like it's about to expand, but I don't know in what direction. So let's get back to it. Right, Bitcoin weekly. Now we had this weekly range. We had a pre-weekly open video yesterday. Now, if you go back and watch that, we mentioned, it's important for us to close this weekly candle within the range low, which we've been waiting for a couple of weeks. Hasn't happened. If it did happen with target range high, hasn't happened. Now we have 3 swings. Okay. Currently, we've just retested this range low on the weekly. Okay. We've opened on the weekly. We're trading, we traded into it and we're trading below the weekly open right now. Now, daily. And obviously, Russia and Putin and Ukraine are going at it. It's been a wild few days. They've been sort of hitting each other, and I think he took his revenge today, and that is incredibly sad. But I think it's going to have an effect on the markets, and I think there's going to be some volatility. And I mean, I feel like there should be risk off, and there should be a flight to dollar or gold, but who the fuck knows? Really, who knows? Um, Now, we spoke about this yesterday, and we're down to the daily now, okay? And we've got our weekly open in there, but this key SR in here, support, resistance, break above, that should hold. You don't want to come back under this level. We're now back below it. So once we close a daily candle above, then I can maybe get on board with this being the low, another higher low, okay? But there's a lot of reasons to be bearish this market at the moment, which of course can always be wrong. But we have trend line traders are probably having orgasms over this. I wouldn't even know how to mark this, to be honest. I'm gonna guess there as many touches as you do on a normal SR, but that looks like it's starting to trade through this trend. Okay, we know it's back below that key macro SR, which was important for me, is important for me. Bring in last week's high, okay, to there, and then we'll drop down to the lower time frames. Now, H1. I apologize for the speed of this internet. I don't know what's going on here, but now I mentioned on yesterday's stream, two fractals on one screen are very unlikely. And I mean, I've sat here and watched Bitcoin for 6 years on TradingView, and my rule of thumb is that if you can see it on the same screen, it's unlikely to happen again. Okay, now you have that identical channel here with um, 1, 2, 1, 2 channel. Okay, and the resulting outcome was a big move up. Now I think that following the same is an unlikely probability, 1 to 5%. I think it's almost impossible, but it's not non-zero, it's just very unlikely. Now I think potentially a half move. Okay, it's the way the price actually has gone over the last sort of hour. I'm not too sure, but I think there'll be a half move or just a continuation of the breakdown. Now, even though that it swept that low of the weekend into this key level, which is the pink SR in here, support, breakdown, support, support, breakdown, takes out the lows. Once it gets back above, expands, trades back into level support, little bounce, didn't break structure, lower high, lower low, lower high. Now it's taking out the lows again from Saturday and Sunday. Okay. And it's just rejected off the weekly and the monthly open. Okay, so the monthly open is in there, the weekly open is in there, and we know potentially the weekly open could come in the first, well, likely comes in the weekly high. Monthly high often comes in the first 7 to 10 days of the monthly candle opening, which would be right in line with where we are now. So if that was the high, expect this to continue collapsing. Now, although it looks bullish with or it looks like a swing fail in there is a market you want to get involved with. Place your stop there. If you look back at a period within this 4 month range that we've been in, it was over here. It kept sweeping the high here, sweeping the high, sweeping the high, and then it even broke structure. Okay, it broke down there and broke the structure. So you thought get in, but no, it came back up, and then it eventually broke down. Here was the entry, here was the stop loss, trade away. It very well could continue just chopping the fuck out of these lows, right? Which would it looks like it's going to now. Now, if it comes back down to this low, okay, then shorts, longs are going to be in trouble again. But if it doesn't, that's what with the probability or the hypothetical situation that it doesn't. I needed to break this high. Okay, this high created the low. You have a series of lower highs here. If that is taking out that low, and then the imbalance of buyers and sellers shifts, and we break this high, I don't give a fuck that we're below macro SR because I'm bearish anyway. Okay, but the pullback, I will be a buyer. Okay, and I will look to trade straight into there. And as I said earlier, rather than a full move fractal, I'm not ruling out a potential half move, which wouldn't make it the same at all. It would be a totally different fractal at that point. And then a lower high, and then a breakdown below this level, confirm the high, and then we shit the bed. At that point, we would have taken all shorts out that have stops in and around these weekend highs, and we can continue lower with this high holding and blast out these lows, these equal lows, and probably Anthony Pompliano, which is probably his stop is over here. Pomp mattresses, you might be selling them for a little bit longer, my brother. Now, Ethereum. So let's take a look at Ethereum, SPX and dollar, okay? So that's the plans for Bitcoin. Um, I don't know why I'm cleaning that up, but let's go to SPX. Now, you're looking at this market and the way that it bounced, okay, the way you look at the daily, okay? This ain't shit but a bearish bounce, right? This is the cleanest structure I've ever seen personally on SPX. It's just very organic fucking selling, right? It is literally selling. I remember shorting COVID with SE and literally pinged the top. I mean, I closed at what, 2.1 or 2.7 or something. But it was no structure. It was just a very fast move in the February month, and um, yeah, that was a totally different ball game to what we're seeing now. We're actually seeing sustained selling. Now, something that I find to be to help me a little bit is if I'm going to be long or anticipating a bullish week on this market, it means I believe the low is in naturally, right? I believe that not a permanent low, but a low, and the current low would be there. Now we've just bounced and fully retraced the move. So if I'm going to convince myself that I should be long this week, I need to convince myself that I believe this low is in here, even short term. Now I can't get on board with that thinking, so I think this is just another little bounce that has been fully retraced, and I think we smashed the low out. I think it's another one of these, a simple move up, and eventually we break. Okay, just a bounce, a dead cat straight into resistance, and if we drop this to the lower time frames, um, you'll see what I mean. So we have issues um, along with along with Bitcoin and Ethereum looking, well, not Ethereum so much, but we'll come on to that in a moment. But along with dollar looking bullish and a Bitcoin looking quite bearish, we have an SPX that has fully retraced the move it had last week, took out all the previous week's highs, which were over here, took out the highs there, and then just crumbled. Okay, crumbled, fully returned back to the origin of the move. Now, it shouldn't be back down here. That was where it took out the lows and had the big move, and it's a fast move, nothing sustainable. And the minute it got the chance, it got immediately sold back. Now it's just pushed up above this level again, okay, and break back below. Now I think that is either the top there for the day, possibly even the week, or why is that not letting me delete any of these little? There can't be that many in there. Okay, yes. Either that is the high in there now, or we're going to take it out again and get back below and sell straight into these lows. Now that comes nicely in line with dollar. So dollar had a pullback and I wanted it to pull back into this level and it's front ran me, missed it, typical. I mean, there looks like there's no stopping. There's no resistance on this fucking market right now, right? There's no resistance. It is into a level. Okay, it's into a level, but I don't think it's all that important. The way the strength of this move, this rebound has occurred, especially from this swing high here, which was where the low created the high, came back to the level, boom, swung below, trapped shorts, okay, trapped money Benny in there, retest on the backside, and it's bounced. And I mean, this ain't a move that you're just expecting to come back, especially on this asset. So I think what we may have, I don't know why it's not letting me delete the brushes with the undo button, but we'll make do. We're taking out these highs here, okay? I think the next daily high is here and then here, okay, which is yearly high. I think we're just going to smash above and rip higher, which I think that is a problem for the other assets. Now, Ethereum I like more than Bitcoin, but again, same problem. I mean, this is the never-ending Monday range where, I'm sorry, I'm talking quietly again, and I know I had some complaints previously. So let's try and up the volume. Now, I get a bit doom and gloom when I look at Ethereum. This was a Monday range that has been there for 4 weeks now, and we're still within it. It's starting to look like some sort of a wick-off schematic, but if it takes out that low, or sorry, if it's taken out that low, if it takes out this high, okay, then I'm going to be involved and I'm going to trade it straight into there, okay, because it shouldn't. And now let me explain why. This was previous Monday high, so we're going to stretch that across. Now, we drop this to the M15, and let's work with what we have with potential day trading here, okay? So we've taken out these lows, this side of the range, which is here, there. And we have the weekend highs, which are here, equal highs. There. Now, all this is just a range within a bigger range, right? We just have prices just in here, okay? Now, what happens when we take liquidity from one side of the range? We anticipate it will trade to the other side of the range. Now, if it breaks this high, okay, I think getting in could be an entry, a stop loss, and a target of these equal highs. Okay, stops all that liquidity in there. That's just a day trade. Okay, so it's an aggressive entry, but that's on the low time frames. Now, if I come back to the hourly, and I'll explain why I think why I am the only man on earth that think Ethereum may leave this range soon. I actually don't think that, but but it could. We never know. We've been in it forever. Now, my trigger would be on an H1 for a swing trade would be a break of this high, because you have to ask the question, okay, what is going on with the market? Now, it moved up and it took out these highs with this move here, and it broke down. So there is the high formed. If this high, if this was all it wanted, it it's now broken structure down here, okay, with this move down. It doesn't need to come all the way back up to take you out, because it does a number of things then. It lets out the longs that are trapped, and it allows you to short it again for a third time. Okay, the market doesn't give us that many opportunities. Okay, what is more likely to do is squeeze the fuck out of you and continue lower because you're trapped in there. And that ain't gonna let you out of jail free. So if it comes back up to the highs, then for me, that is a signal that it wants to go higher. So I will buy on the back test and swing that straight into there. And if the aggressive scalp short entry, long entry works, which was into these highs, that could possibly turn into a swing trade for me. So that's where I'm at with Ethereum. But until it leaves this never-ending story, a great movie, my favorite movie as a kid, then we are going to go sideways for the next 95 million years. And who knows? That might be a better thing for the crypto market if Ethereum stays in this never-ending range. What do they call it? Ultrasound money. Maybe it's the perfect money. Never changes value. Thanks for joining the stream. I'll see you again on Friday. Goodbye.